Usually I think I start the paintings with some type of abstract um, uh, geometric structure to just be a ground, or to allow there to be an investigation, maybe at some point of entry in the painting. Rarely do I start with just a white ground, and so usually there's some type of decisions made from many drawings, a selection of drawings that are then translated into kind of a geometric abstract moment as a point of departure in the painting, and then dependent on that the image, and for this group the information that I was kind of collecting, a lot of collecting of architectural information, and also photographs that somehow inform intuitively the process that I'm going to work on. Then it's usually this process of sorting out what would maybe be interesting, and I try to guide that let my mind, or let my intuitively guide that process in some way. And then as the painting starts to come together and the architectural drawing starts to interact with the ground, then at that moment usually the painting takes a clear direction, or a form that I can somewhat envision, and then at that point I make a decision if it will just move purely into an architectural type of drawing or moment or direction, or if it'll be more like this picture, which has this elements of geometric abstraction as well as just architectural drawing. And sometimes I make the decision to draw into, or work further, erase or sand away part of that drawing, and then work further into that. And that's where the layers start to evolve. But usually it's from the first piece of painting that happens on the painting, decisions are made about how layered or simple the picture will evolve. Difficult. Sometimes paintings don't. I don't feel that they're resolved for a few years, and sometimes it's a month, 2 months. Or sometimes the idea is so simple, and as I start working into the picture, to the painting, it becomes very clear what the direction should be. And sometimes that solution is, for the Berliner Platz, the architectural painting, that really was a year and 12, 14 months of actual drawing on the painting, but it was with one idea and direction that didn't change other than the way that the painting evolved. Other paintings where there's a lot more back and forth with my hand and with erasure and with questioning of the work, then it becomes something that usually I work on, I sit with, I look at. I spend a lot of time looking and trying to sort out, with not intellectually, but with intuitively working with the work and feeling what needs to help you. In this case, I was working on most of the paintings at the same time. Some I started working into earlier, and others really took a long time to understand what I would do with them, and whether or not what direction I would work with them or try and push them. What became apparent or interesting to me in the work was this idea of you experience so just readily here in Berlin, is this constant vision, or the ghost of what was once a part of the city, and what now is what remains, and what has shifted in this moment of construction and reconstruction and deconstruction, that being right on the cusp of those moments at the same time. And I think, to me, that was what really resonated and brought up a lot of this dealing with this aspect of erasure, the ruin and the ghost in the paintings. I think that became the ghost image, and being able to really investigate those in a way, or they somehow pushed into the work, while during my first experience here, and I think maintained itself in the work as I've been living here. So. New York has been New York. New York goes through its changes, and it's in a way I've lived in this city since 1992, so it's home in a way. And we have my family, and we have a life there. And so for me, New York is always in flux and shifting. And but I adore Berlin, and I loved living here. And I think that I would love to be able to find a way to be in both cities. I made some very, very close friends and very dear friends, and I think that was also very influential in being able to work so freely and with a lot of space and time, and then also be able to be in this kind of really poetic, beautiful dialogue with other working artists. I think that's more difficult in New York. It doesn't happen as readily and as kind of freely as it feels like it's happened for us here in Berlin. And it was painting and drawing, and working with developing a language to paint and draw and work, and it was the need and an interest in the work to use and be able to make this kind of connection to using the language of architecture and the history of that language as a point of context in the work. And so I think with any creative process, this happens slowly, and it's been a process of 15 years of really working very slowly and carefully with the different types of language and working out a way to make paintings. And I think that's really at the crux of it. And but I didn't study architecture. I mean, I think in the end I'm mostly interested in painting and drawing and making paintings. And the work works with these different languages in a way to make these pictures what they are in a way.